Well, hey guys, here we are, the Wednesday before spring break and almost the end of the season of Lent. Now, normally we take a break next week and we don't meet and so on, but since we're all home, we're going to go ahead and have a Zoom meeting next Wednesday, like the one we're going to have this week, and just see how everyone's doing, talk, just see how we're all doing, how we're staying sane, and all those good things. So look forward to that next Wednesday, as well as other opportunities that the church is providing for worship and reflection and things of that nature. So we'll keep you posted on all those things. So before we get into all the Holy Week stuff, this is going to be quick and brief because it really is your message. It's not mine. But before we get into all that, we don't want to forget one last character in our journey to the Easter story, one last unforgettable character that is really, really important to the story. And that person is you. How are you living into your role as a witness to the Easter story? How are you living into the story of Christ? How are you sharing that story? How are you living that story? How are you making the resurrection known? See, Easter changed everything, and Easter people change everything. And I didn't understand that saying before. I used to hear it a lot from people. But are you an Easter person? And basically, what they're asking is, if the resurrection changed everything, how are you changed by it? And we're coming up to, in a week and a half, we're going to celebrate Easter, and the tomb is empty, and he is risen and conquered death, and it's an amazing thing. But it actually already happened, and so we should already be living as Easter people, and should always be living as Easter people, because that gift of eternity, that gift of forgiveness, has already been given to us. And so we already have that. So I know next week is spring break, and no one's going to Florida. Nobody's getting on an airplane. Nobody's going on a road trip. Nobody's, doing anything. Our family included. We canceled all of our plans a while ago when this whole thing first started. And that's sad. It's something we look forward to, and we know being cooped up in our houses and stuff isn't exactly how we want to spend that time, but we can also look at it as an opportunity. So next week you have time off, so to speak. You're going to be home, and there's not a whole lot you can do. So what are some things you can do? Well, I just sat at the kitchen table with Molly and colored some bags for Kids Food Basket, because they're still delivering food to kids. They're still taking care of people in the community, and they're going to continue to do that long after our current situation ends. And so, we sat and we talked about those kids and how cool it must be to get a really cool colored bag. Pretty simple thing, doesn't take a lot of time. Yesterday, I wrote a couple cards. A few of you may have gotten them in the mail. But I had my kids write some cards also, and we turned it into a fun little adventure. We tried to be stealthy, and we went and taped them to people's doors, and we rode our bikes to get there. So it turned into a really nice bike ride for me and my kids, and then we got to brighten some people's day with a little card, just letting them know, hey, we're thinking of you. And then we also followed the rules and didn't come into contact with anybody. So there's ways you can do things. There's a neighbor that lives somewhere near you that is trapped in their house right now, feeling like, oh, I should be out doing all of these things, and maybe they can't do all these things. Maybe you can rake their lawn. Maybe you can grab a piece of sidewalk chalk and go right on someone's driveway and give them some encouragement. Maybe you can drop a card in the mail. You can send a text. You can, use some of your technology skills and put together a video or a collage of photos for somebody and send it to them. Let them know you're thinking of them. These are the things that are going to help us get through this, but they're also the things that help us get through life. They're the things that help us stay connected and pass on that love that Christ gave to us, so that we can continue to be Easter people and to be people that are passing that on. So these are just a couple ideas. We'll probably talk some more about them in our Zoom meeting in an hour here. But I just wanted to put that out there for you guys, for some stuff to think about. If you have other ideas, please share them with us, because we can pass those on to everybody. And so there's just a few things. But remember, the story is about you. What Jesus did on the cross, what he's going to do, what we're going to celebrate next week, he did that for you. And if you were the only person that would have been affected by that, he still would have done it. Easter, Holy Week, the cross, all of this is a gift from God to you. And when you get a gift that big, it's probably best to share it. So think of ways you can share that in the coming week. And, there'll be other spring breaks. There'll be other times off of school where you're supposed to be having fun and can be with all of your friends and so on. But there might not be another opportunity like this to show each other how much we really truly care about each other and to pass on the love of Christ. So I encourage you to do that. And we love you guys. We'll talk to you soon. Peace and love.